Hi, I'm Scott Murphy, and I'd like to show you one way the movie's Mourn, with only 2 chords. You don't have to be a trained musician yourself to experience how music that accompanies movies and television programs enhances the emotions of the story. But I would like to show you that you don't have to be a trained musician to understand and even perform some of the gestures that film and TV composers often use in association with certain dramatic elements. For example, in this video, I'm going to show you how to play, on the piano, a certain harmonic progression that has been associated with extreme sadness in many popular movies and TV programs over the past 25 years. It's music that is both very simple but also very effective. Later in the video, I'll recreate different scenes from these movies and TV programs, well, one TV program, that all use this progression, and you can try to guess from which movie or TV show my rendition comes. If you are trained in basic music theory, you can just skip ahead to the time right there. There it is. But if you're not trained in music theory, I can still show you how to play this progression in just a few easy steps. All you need is a piano, either real or virtual. I brought my virtual piano here, so something like that. Although if you use a virtual piano, it's preferable that you be able to play chords, right? So there we go. Now to start, pick any note on the left side of the keyboard, but not too far from the middle. I'm going to pick this one right here because it matches the music of my first excerpt. But again, you can use any note you want. It can be black or white like this one, and you don't have to know what it's called, although later I'll show you what all the notes are called so you can play along with my excerpts if you want. Now, play the note that you chose with one of the long fingers on your left hand. Your index finger would probably be the best, no worse than any of the others, so index finger on this note that you chose. Okay. Now count up, that is to the right, from the note that you chose. 12 notes to get to another note. Now when you're counting, don't count the note that you already picked. It's like moving on a game board, moving a certain number of spaces, right? Don't count the one that you initially picked, and count both white and black notes as you move up. Now if you count correctly, it should be the same color as the first note you picked. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There we go. And in fact, it will be the same note in the same pattern. The pattern replicates after 12 notes. So put your right thumb on this new note and play the 2 notes together. You'll notice that they sound almost exactly the same. Okay, so we've got that. Fantastic. Now, back to your left hand. Count up from this left hand note 4 notes. Again, counting both white and black, and don't count the first one. So count up 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All right? Now, your left hand is only going to play 1 note at a time. Okay, so it'll go back and forth between these 2 notes. So let's do index finger, and maybe let's put the thumb here. All right, it's a black note, so it's a little high, but that's okay. Now keep your fingers on these 2 notes. We're going to alternate back and forth. But again, only 1 note at a time on the left hand. Okay, so back to your right hand now. But just like with your left hand, we're going to count up 4 notes from our right thumb pitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, counting white and black and not counting the note that we start on, right? Now from that note, we're going to count up another 3. 1, 2, 3. And that's going to give us 2 more notes. And we're going to put our middle finger and our pinky on those 2 notes respectively. All right? If you play all 3 notes together from your right hand, it should sound nice. We call it a major triad. It should sound quite nice. So we'll be playing 3 notes at a time with our right hand, but only 1 note at a time with our left hand. So once again, counting up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then counting up another 3, 1, 2, 3. There we go. Okay, so let's try what I'm going to call chord number 1. All right, so chord number 1 is the index finger, all right, on your left hand. All right, that was the very first note that we picked, right? And the 3 notes of your right hand that we've come up with. So we play them all together, all 4 notes. Should sound really nice. Should sound really nice. Okay, so now we've learned chord number 1. This is chord number 1 of just the 2 chords that we need to play this particular gesture. Now chord number 2 is very similar to the first, okay? You're just going to make 2 changes. So first of all, the left hand is going to move to that other left hand note, the thumb note that we had been preparing. Okay. So that was the one that was 4 notes higher. Remember that? Okay. So that's chord number 2's left hand note. All right. Now in the right hand, all that you're going to change is the thumb of your right hand. It's going to go down 1 note. Right. Now again, white or black. It may change, because it's the next immediately adjacent one going down. So that's your chord 2. Chord 1, chord 2. Now, if you skipped over my intro, you should be with me now, right? So if you've had some basic music theory, chord number 1 is the major 1 chord, all right? The major tonic triad. Chord number 2, in music theory, we call the 3 chord, which in this case is a minor 3 chord. Okay, so chord number 1 is the major 1 chord, major tonic triad. And chord number 2 is the 3 chord, the minor 3 chord with a mediant triad. Yeah. So finally, to perform these 2 chords so that they sound most like some films and TV programs, all you need to do, first of all, play them softly, so nice and quiet. Second of all, play each for about maybe 2 seconds, right? So if you're just learning how to play the piano, this is great because you can go nice and slow, right? You can really take your time. So, about 2 seconds. Back and forth. If you can make them connected, it's also good, all right? Now, chord number 1 should sound more important, or more like a home base than number 2. Now, if you're not sure how to do that, you can kind of just start with chord number 1. That's the best way to make that happen. So, when you start the progression, start with 1, then go to 2. Then composers, using this gesture for sadness, they tend to go back to number 1 before they go on to something else. That's what they tend to do. So, there you go. That's all there is to it. Chord number 1, chord number 2, and then probably back to chord number 1. Okay, we're back. My camera didn't let me record continuously, the whole thing. That's okay. It allows me to do multiple takes on this anyway because it's not easy. So, speaking of which, I'm going to play 8 excerpts here now with score and dialogue. And it's up to you to figure out what movies or TV program it comes from. All right. After I stop playing, there'll be a few second delay before I post the title, the composer, and year, all that. So enjoy. Good luck. This time to energize the pool. Now the life force is completely drained from the water. I'm not going to be able to bring them back. So that was number 1. Okay. Number 2. Oh, my dear child, have you you been up all night? I see them in their beds so often in my dreams. When I wake up, they're still there. Mommy! Mom! And then they hug and it's all good. Right. So, happy part, but sad progression while she was still sad, and then she sees kids and happy. So, that was number 2. Okay, number 3. Okay, here we go. Number 3. Let me start here. Okay. My name is Federico Aranda. And I have to tell you that Alberto Altuna, a brave boy, is dead. He was 21 years old. Eternal rest grant unto them, O Lord. May perpetual light shine upon them. May they rest in peace. Amen. Okay, imagine a trumpet. Then violins. Okay. That was number 3. Here's number 4. Turn me loose. Turn me. Turn me. Medgar Evers believed in this country. It now remains to be seen if his country believed in him. Alright, that was number 4. Here's number 5. I will do my best. Keanu Reeves. Okay, we'll see. I swear, I was lifted in that moment to a better place. I swear, he lifted the world in that moment. He made me a better person, even if just for that moment. I am forever grateful to Jairus for that. And then we see the people at the funeral, people crying. Now we're outside, we're taking the casket into the hearse. Number 5. Okay. It's number 6. Beautiful, healthy baby. Want to talk about it? Talk about what? Boone died, Jack. didn't die. He was murdered. Yeah, okay. Alright. Sorry about that. Number 7. Number 7. We live in an age of darkness, a world full of fear, hate, and intolerance. But in every age, there are those who fight against it. Charles Xavier was born into a world divided. And then she keeps going on with the eulogy. I didn't write down the rest of the words, but you get the idea. And then it brings back the theme. Then it goes right from chord 1 to chord 2 to chord 3. So you get the idea there. Okay. Last one. And in fact, this one takes place at the very end of the movie proper. And in fact, it's probably sort of the swan song for the entire series, unless they make a movie out of the next book, but I don't think they will. So this is kind of like, the farewell, very end. So I'm going to play this one. We often spoke of Narnia in the days that followed. And when my cousins left after the war ended, I miss them with all my heart, as I know all Narnians will miss them. Until the end of time. End of movie. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed it.